Hey guys, happy Friday! Welcome. This is an impromptu Facebook Live. It's noon Eastern Standard Time here, Friday. And sorry I didn't prep you guys and tell you guys I was coming on. I was just uncertain with times, but I am over the moon excited to talk about this topic because I've heard it a lot lately. The question, where do I start, Moni? Where do I even start? Because we know what worked for us in our 30s doesn't necessarily work and will not work in the long run for us in our 40s when we are trying to boost our metabolism, rid the belly fat, get rid of the underarm bulge, all that fun stuff. And what we're going to talk about is actually not diet, nutrition, or exercise related. But it probably, I will say this without a doubt, is the number one thing that I have to focus on consistently, and the number one thing that we need to do before our bodies and mind will release that extra fluff. Have to do it. So before you start, I'm just going to share this to the private Mojo Moni Meta Boosting group. If you're not a part of it, you should be. If you're watching this in the Mojo Moni page, just click the link up there. And then you'll get an invite into the private group. There, it's an awesome group. It's Mondays we do mini challenges. I'm just gonna see if we can share it. Mondays we do mini challenges, just overall challenges just to help promote longevity and health in our 40s. Very easy peasy. Wednesdays we have What's Cooking Wednesdays, where I give you a recipe, a breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert recipe every Wednesday that's meta boosting. And you get a recipe card, so you can save that recipe card, make a nice file on your computer and put them all in there for some healthy recipe inspiration. We have Fitness Fridays, where I give you a workout, a meta boosting, fat burning workout every Friday. And then we have some fun and laughs along the way. And we're gonna have something, just let me share this really quick, coming up that we do a lot in the private group, just in the private group. So again, make sure that you join. Or sign up or whatever you want to call it. But we do challenges, so health challenges. Say hi if you guys are out there. Give me a heart, give me a love. We do challenges. So I'm stuttering through this, but it's okay. We do team challenges. That's the word I was looking for. We do team challenges. So the one coming up is the 3-day sugar detox challenge. So if your sugar cravings got way too much love over the holidays and maybe still in January, this is a challenge for you. And this is a great kickstart to those two things I always talk about that we need to do to rid the extra fat in our 40s, and that's balance our blood sugar and balance our hormones. So it's a free challenge. It's just in our private group. If you're on my email list, look out for the invite. We're all starting on February 4th, okay? If you're not on my email list, I'll put the links. Hey, Casey, I will put the link for the sign up for the sugar challenge coming up soon. Okay, I'll put a post and you guys can sign up there, because you'll get the 10 tips to get you to rid the sugar cravings. Plus you get the 3-day meal plan. Plus you'll get daily coaching from me privately in this group for free. And you'll get healthy alternatives. You'll get snack ideas, bunch of stuff. And guys, it's amazing what 3 days will do when it comes to, we say sugar cravings, but the big picture to balancing that blood sugar and really ridding ourselves of that fat storage hormones going crazy and that imbalance. It's really, really big. So February 4th, we're all gonna start together. And that includes like the daily videos I'll be coming in the private group. So make sure you if you're not in the private Mojo Moni Meta Boosting group, that you're in there. And we're gonna all do it together, okay? So stay on the lookout for that. I'll put it up in the next couple of days to get everyone a lot of time to prepare and grocery shop and get ready for it. But it's super fun. We did it last time in September, and we were laughing. It was so fun. Okay, so get friends to join. Let's all do it together. It's awesome. I'm doing it too. I'm totally doing it with you guys. But today, I wanted to talk about the question I get a lot is just like, Moni, where do I start? Where do I start? I'm overwhelmed. I've tried and failed. There's so much information out there. I'm motivated. I want to do it. I'm kind of in the motions of doing things, maybe made some goals and intentions for myself for 2019, but what used to work for me before isn't working now, and I just don't know where to start. And it's really this, what we're gonna be talking about is really kind of a make or break. It really is a make or break when it comes to your whole meta boosting fat loss journey. And it's really something that's talked about a lot, but it's not really focused on before the whole nutrition and exercise component. And we all know, and we've probably heard and been banged on the head, like nutrition is so important. It's really about 70% of our journey, and the fitness will complement that and help support us in the sustained fat loss. But what do you guys think it is? Let me know in the comments below. If you're watching this taped or live, let me know what you think it is. What is it that we have to focus on before we regulate our blood sugar and regulate our hormones, before we start working out smarter, not harder, before we start developing the mindset that is gonna keep us going and make this a lifetime thing that we're doing and not just another diet? What is it? Let me know. I'll give you guys a little pause. I know, a sip of water will you guys tell me. Someone just PM me. Don't PM me, tell me in the chat. It's sleep, okay? It's sleep. It's not just sleep, it's consistent sleep. And I know you're probably either rolling your eyes at me or you're sighing because you're like, oh my God, talk to me, Moni, about sleep. And you know what affects our sleep? We all know. Yes, Casey, got it. What affects the sleep? We all know. Stress, what's in our head. We are busy women. We got a lot of shit going on in our heads that we either have to take care of or are doing or planning. And you know, what we're going through in life in general. And maybe we're at the stage of life, maybe you're perimenopausal or menopausal, and you're hot flashes, you're uncomfortable, your body's going through some massive changes, and we are just sleep deprived. And it's so funny because nutrition does play a big role in the quality of sleep we get. It's kind of the chicken and the egg. So what comes first? Because we need quality nutrition to get quality long sleep, but when we don't have good nutrition, it's very hard. We get decision fatigue, and it's very hard to make those healthy choices for ourselves, right? Like when we're tired, those cookies seem a lot more inviting than if we just are on point and are just like, nope, we're gonna do something different instead. So the science behind sleep is so fascinating, and it's complicated, and it's growing, and it amazes me that we can grow an ear in a petri dish, but we are still trying to figure out the intricacies of sleep, and our bodies need sleep and why it eludes us, and especially during that perimenopausal and menopausal fluctuations that many of us feel in our 40s, right? So, and we do all know that the lack of sleep, how it affects us in just about everything that we do in our body and our mind, okay? Like how it contributes to diabetes, heart disease, slower metabolism, weight gain, hormone imbalance, inflammation, which is a big reason for disease, is inflammation. So, and don't listen to those people that get only 3 or 4 hours of sleep a night because they're not human. I'm saying that straight up there. They're not human, okay? And we all know that the 7 to 9 is what typically a lot of the experts say that we should be getting. And, but a lot of us don't. And it's funny because we don't put enough emphasis on it off the hop before we start on this journey. And it's a lot of times that lack of sleep may even negate any benefits from an exercise program that we're doing. Do you guys know that? So you can be working out your little buns off, doing your functional fitness and everything. Hey, Chandel. And you're not getting enough sleep, it's actually going to negate the benefits that you're getting. So it's so important. That's why I think it's something that I'm constantly struggling with and working on. And we have to really focus on it before nutrition, exercise, before we even really dive into that, okay? Because we want the full benefits from this nutrition and what we're doing to balance our hormones and balance our blood sugar and the fitness part. But if we're not getting the sleep, sustained sleep to support our bodies adapting and regulating, it's gonna be super hard. And especially as we age, our bodies and mind need more of that rejuvenation, rest, and rid period, which is our sleep, because we're not as metabolically advanced as we were in our 20s. I wouldn't say advanced is not the right word, but we don't adjust metabolically as quick, we don't heal as quick, and that's just the reality of having an over 40 physiology. So making sure we have that period to rid, restore, and rejuvenate is super important. Rid's big. What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? You pee, because you're ridding yourself of all those toxins and pollutants and everything. And the biggest thing, guys, to remember is that fat is protection. There is a reason why, a root cause why each of us, mentally or physically, hold on to fat. And that's not talked about a lot, okay? Hi, Chantel. Hi, Corey. All my old school peeps are on. It's so good. But there's a reason, mentally and physically, people a lot of times forget about the mental part. There's a reason, mentally or physically, that we hold on to fat. It is protection. It's protection from our environment. It's protection from stress. It's protection from toxins and pollutants. So, and like I said, we're not... we can't adjust as quickly as we did in our 20s and 30s. That's the reality of it. So what do we do now that we've kind of talked about all the pros and cons and everything? So what do we do? And I know we've all heard of the tips, and I want to go beyond the, you know, no blue lights before bed, limiting the caffeine before a certain time in the afternoon, going to the same bedtime every day, getting that routine. It's funny, like when we have kids, we are so strict about setting that routine, right? To get them to have healthy quality sleep. And a lot of times we don't do that for ourselves. But in our brain, we all know that our brain needs time to produce in the dark, like low light, dark. Our brain needs time to produce natural melatonin that will help us fall asleep. So, and a great resource, guys, that is Arianna Huffington. A few years ago, she put out the Sleep Revolution. I can't even remember the title of the book. I'll put it in the comments. But she had a great book about this. So there's great resources out there for us when we're talking about sleep. But here's a couple of my big tips, okay? And this is pertaining to falling asleep, and I'm going to talk about staying asleep in just a second, because if you're going through any hormonal fluctuations, staying asleep is number one thing for sure. You wake up at 2 in the morning, you're like, okay, I'm wide awake, and I can't fall back asleep. But number one is consistency, and this is the hardest one for me, because we know all the things that we should be doing, all the things to help promote good quality, restful sleep, and trying to get that 7 to 9 hours, okay? And we naturally wake up and have our own algorithms, which change a little bit when we're older as well, when it comes to sleep. But this is me. I have an alarm actually on my phone. At 10:30, it gives me, you need to go to bed, like right now. And I am like 9 times out of 10, like, oh, but just one more thing. One more thing, I just gotta do one more thing. I'm writing, I'm reading, I'm doing whatever. One more thing, one more thing, one more thing. And I'm not settling down into that rest period and allowing my body to adjust into sleep. So I'm trying to keep consistent, like same bedtimes, all that, even on the weekends, but consistent in the period before you get into sleep. You know, you get into your bed and you read for an hour. You know, half the time I fall asleep before 2 pages in, but that's okay. But whatever you're doing to prep your body for sleep, we all know it, but stay consistent with it. That's the hardest part, is staying consistent so our body algorithms can adjust to it, okay? Second one is balancing our blood sugar and our hormones, like I said before. And obviously this is what I do for a living. This is why I talk to you guys, but real food, things that live and die, making sure we're a lot of plant-based foods in our diet. Limiting the processed sugars in our diet is super important. So that's why the sugar challenge is going to be amazing. Starting February 4th, I'm going to send a link to you guys free just for our group. And making sure we're getting enough healthy fats and proteins in our diet. Okay, big fat. Fat doesn't make you fat. I always say that. Sugar does a lot, but not fat. You need healthy fat in your diet, and that helps balance just a high level, balance our hormones and sugar, but real food, focusing on real food. Number 3 is sunshine and exercise. So getting outside, sunshine, letting your body feel that vitamin D, letting your algorithms know that it is daytime, and during that daytime we are active. And then when it becomes dark, and the algorithms change, then we get into restorative and rest. Okay, so if you're a nighttime workout person, maybe try switch it into the daytime, waking up a little bit earlier and just getting it done, even though it's kind of dark early too. But lunchtime, getting it done, getting sunshine, getting outside, getting that natural light is super, super important. Fourth tip I have for you guys is journaling. Okay, journaling and giving gratitude before bed. We are women, we think a lot and we worry a lot. So whatever is in our head before bed, writing it down. And it can be gibberish. You'll never have to read it again, or maybe you want to reread it. It's up to you. But just write it down. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be a list. Just get it out of your head before bed. And I do this a lot because I'm a thinker, I'm a list person, I'm a taskmaster. So I just try to get it out of my head. And I try to think of 10 things that I'm grateful for that day before I go to bed. Just that helps train your subconscious to lighten the load, to give gratitude. I'm not going into the whole gratitude thing today, but it's huge health benefits. So what I do is either write it down, or when my head hits the pillow, I just count in my head 10 things I'm grateful for that day. Easy, keep it easy. Do not make it work on ourselves. We don't need another thing in our plate. I'm grateful that my bed is comfy. I'm grateful that I got a manicure today. I'm grateful that I'm doing a Facebook Live with an amazing group of awesome women in their 40s, and they're allowing me to come into their lives and do this. Just stuff like that. Okay. Number 5 is supplements. I get a lot of ask on supplements for sleep and stress. Definitely 100% talk to your healthcare practitioner about this, or your doctor. Especially if you're having chronic sleep problems, please, please, please. But the biggest 2 common ones obviously are magnesium and some kind of B complex. Corey boys, 50s now. It's 40s and 50s. I can't believe you're 50. Oh my God, you look amazing for 50. You should see this girl. Amazing. But she's always healthy. Magnesium. So magnesium is one of the most depleted minerals in our soil. I've talked about that a number of times. Magnesium Calm is a supplement up here in Canada. I'm not sure if it's in the States. You take it before bed. It's a magnesium citrate. Magnesium is a great cortisol blocker, which is our stress hormone. So it just allows you to kind of decompress a little bit. It also has a laxative effect. So I always tell people to be very conscious about how they're taking. You just mix it in water and take it before bed. How they're taking it. And your B complex, obviously, right? We've all learned that B6, B12 helps us sort of just decompress a little bit, okay? Because stress is a big contributor to lack of sleep, okay? And people are like, oh, my hormones, but your hormones are going crazy. It adds a stress in your body. It all comes down to stress too. There is alternative therapies. And then if you are one of my Canadian friends, and the American friends are gonna be like, what is she talking about? But there is like CBD oil and all those things that I get asked actually quite a bit about. I do not know much about it at all. So I'm not going to speak on it. I am learning as I go. But I do have a close friend that is very knowledgeable and talks a lot about this. So I'm gonna have her on, and she's gonna talk about alternative therapies to sleep deprivation. So we're gonna hopefully have that coming up pretty soon, so stay tuned to that. But I think those first few tips definitely is a starting point and something that you should be focusing on a consistent basis to help get that quality of sleep, right? If we do not have that time to restore, rid, and rejuvenate, we're not gonna rev our metabolism and lose the fluff. It's so important, okay? What happens if we wake up during the night? So a lot of my perimenopausal, menopausal women are just like, I have no problems falling asleep, Moni. I fall asleep. But it's when I wake up at 2, 3 in the morning and I cannot fall asleep. And there's a couple of reasons behind it, very high level. We go through sleep cycles, as everyone knows, and those cycles change as we age. Some of them become shorter, some become longer. So depending on what cycle you end, when you wake up, your body might be saying, oh, yeah, okay, I've rejuvenated enough and rested enough, I think, for the 16 hours that I was awake. So I'm just gonna stay awake. And so you're dealing with that as well as the hormone fluctuations. So a couple of tips that you can do to help with this are, number 1 is don't watch the clock. I don't think there's anything more painful than waking up at 2, 3 in the morning, not being able to fall back asleep, and then, continually just look at the clock and then like another hour's passed, another 20 minutes have passed, and it's like painful. You're tossing and turning and tossing and turning and tossing and turning. So don't watch the clock. Try this relaxation exercise. So lying on your back, almost like in a shavasana pose, and then tense, starting from your toes to your forehead, tense those different muscle groups for 5 seconds and then release. So you tense your toes, 5 seconds, then release. Then tense your feet, 5 seconds, and then release. Then tense your ankles, 5 seconds, and release. And work up, okay? That's just gonna, one, trigger your mind to work on something else, and it's also gonna promote some relaxation in the body, okay? If you are not falling asleep and it's like been over 20 minutes or so, get out of bed. Get out of bed and do something that's not interesting. The worst thing you probably do is watch TV or go on your phone, okay? Because you're getting that blue light and even triggering cortisol to rise, everything to promote wakefulness. So getting up and going, just, reading the paper, reading a book, listening to music, and then when you start feeling drowsy again, crawl back into bed and try that way. So again, guys, if this is something that's chronic for you and it's not just the one night here and there that you just don't get a good night's sleep, make sure you talk to your healthcare practitioner, whomever they may be. If you want more information from me or some resources to guide you in those directions, I'll be happy to help. So just shoot me a PM. But definitely wanted to talk about this today because it is one of those things that we have to do. We need consistent sleep and rest periods in our lives, especially as we age, if our goal is just for health and longevity and to boost our metabolism and rid that extra fluff in our bellies and armpits and all the other weird places that you blink and then suddenly it shows up in our 40s and 50s as well. So let me know if that was helpful to you guys. Give me a thumbs up, give me some love. And again, if you're on my email list, the sugar challenge is coming up. So please check your inbox, your spam, your promo folder. Sometimes I get thrown in there by accident to say, I'm just gonna be a link and you're gonna be reply to me and say, I'm in, and I'm just gonna make a list for everybody and we're all gonna make a list of everybody and we're all starting at the same time, February 4th, but you'll get all your goods ahead of time so you can prep and everything. And I'm there to help you with the way. 3 days. Sugar challenge, kick the sugar cravings. I got too much love over the holidays. Great kickstart for balancing your hormones, balancing your blood sugar, which help us de-bloat and rid ourselves, okay? So with that, I'm gonna bid farewell. Have an amazing, amazing Friday. Do your Fitness Friday workout today or this weekend. Let me know how it goes, and I'll talk to you guys soon.